We've been on a wild journey through history, and today, with the help of my friends, Focus from the Bboy Dojo, Coach Sambo, AJ47 and Crazy Cujo, we're about to go really deep, and the last video might just leave your jaw hanging. I've uncovered videos of freezes thought to be original in breaking, only to find out that the roots stretching back decades or even centuries. This is the untold history of freezes, part 1. Before breaking, before gymnastics, before even the golden age of kung fu films, there was this. This pose, that was first illustrated in an 1830 yoga manuscript, shows a striking resemblance to what we call in the breaking scene a shoulder chair. Nearly 70 years later, we find another illustration posted on the New York Herald, making an appearance in the Western world. By the 1930s, we find that the fitness culture has incorporated the moves into their workout routines. Meanwhile, yoga masters like Krishnamacharya and Intra Devi continue to use this pose into their teachings. Unexpectedly, we even spot a casual moment from a 1941 documentary from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, with some kids playing around with it. By the 1950s, competitive gymnastics had already incorporated the move into their floor routines in examples such as Podustova, and check how she exits the move. Jumping to 1983, and we see another variation performed by Tatiana Frolova in the World Championship. And of course, kung fu movies of the 70s, where movies such as like Mars Villa, they showcase this freeze in dynamic sequences, and some movies even they took it a step further, showcasing a jumping variation. As did acrobats like the George Wong troupe on the Mickey Mouse show and this unnamed group from Spain. So long before it was part of breaking, this freeze had a long history spanning centuries, but we're only getting started here. Now, would you believe if I told you that Charlie Chaplin was busting shoulder freezes all the way back in 1914? That's right. In one of his earliest films, Chaplin performed something that looks very similar to a shoulder freeze. And just 2 years later, in Chaplin's movie The Count, we see the move being performed again, proving that the move was making its way into early cinema. Early acrobats, such as these guys from the movie Over the Counter, where they performed a coin drop into a shoulder freeze in the 30s, decades before breaking made its appearance. And check this crazy master swipe style jump into a shoulder freeze, proving how much variation already existed back then. But beyond acrobatics, we see glimpses of the move being performed in classic dance numbers and dramatic performances. By the 1950s, gymnasts and circus performers were refining the technique, even linking it with other moves such as the cricket that we're going to talk about a bit later. And here's something unexpected. Even ballet dancers incorporated the move into their routines all the way back in the 70s. From silent films to gymnastics, from circus acts to ballet dancers, the shoulder freeze has been sneaking its way into history for over a century. Next up, we got the turtle freeze. Really? Alright, let's roll with it. Turns out that turtles have been doing their own version of the turtle freeze for millions of years. Respect the OGs. But what about humans? We can trace this move back nearly 200 years. Going back to the Joda Pradipika, which I'm sure I butchered the name, from the 1800s, where we clearly see this illustration that looks exactly like a turtle freeze with straight legs. And in the 1950s, gymnasts before B-boys and B-girls were showcasing similar holds in their routines. So whether you're a yogi, a gymnast, or just a turtle chilling on a rock, the turtle freeze has a deeper history than we might think. Now, the cricket has a lot of history, even though it looks up straight breaking until you realize its history spans over a century. By the 20s and 30s, we see acrobats and circus performers pushing the limits of the cricket. In the 40s, 50s and 60s, it became a staple in gymnastics and acrobatics, and even making appearances in the original Muscle Beach and gymnastic competitions. So before breaking, the cricket has been bouncing around for decades. The baby freeze might be one of the first freezes you learn in breaking, but its history goes way back. One of its first recorded examples comes again from the 1931 book, The True Art and Science of Hand Balancing, where we see something that is not exactly a baby freeze, but it's close enough. By the mid-30s and 40s, acrobats were using the same position in their performances. Meanwhile, capoeira, a Brazilian martial art, was doing something even closer to a baby freeze through at least the 70s. And even yoga masters like BKS Iyengar were holding similar shapes into their practices. So whether it's circus acts, martial arts, or yoga masters, the baby freeze has been building its foundation long before breaking made it famous. The cradle freeze isn't just a staple of breaking, it's been around for centuries. Contortionists, yogis, and acrobats have all been rocking this pose long before breaking. The earliest example we could find is this contortionist from 1901. Yes, this is the same guy we featured in the crab drop video, which you can watch right here. Other contortionists such as Kruger and Ward were also using the same move. Meanwhile, in the world of yoga, Krishnamacharya and Iyengar were using the same pose in their practices. In 1956, we go back to the George Wung troupe, which brought the move to the Mickey Mouse show. And lastly, Soviet-era acrobat Leonid Yengibarov, where he used the move in his performances in the 60s and 70s. Whether yoga, acrobatics, or contortion, the cradle freeze has been holding it strong for years. For the plank freeze, we're gonna go all the way back to 1920s Japan and visit the geishas of Kyoto. At first glance, it looks like they're striking a plank freeze, but in reality they're just imitating koi fish. In Japanese culture, koi fish symbolize strength and perseverance, as they are known to swim against powerful currents. So next time you see somebody holding a plank freeze, remember, it's not just a freeze, it's a reflection of resilience. The chair freeze is one of the most recognizable freezes in breaking, but it has roots in multiple disciplines. Acrobats in the 50s were already using a position similar to a chair freeze. And capoeiristas in the 70s also incorporated the same thing in their flows. So before it became a classic in breaking, the chair freeze position was already part of movement arts around the world. Now this is a mystery because we haven't been able to pinpoint exactly the date of this video. It might be in the 70s, but we're not exactly sure. So what we see here is a Mongolian contortionist performing something suspiciously close to an airchair. We might never know for sure, but this might just be groundbreaking evidence that the airchair, or at least something that looks like it, has been around for longer than we thought. Now the head hollowback might seem like a purely breaking invention, but history tells us otherwise. In capoeira, we can already see the move being utilized way before breaking took off. And also in gymnastics, we can witness Ann Carr performing a head hollowback from a back handsprings way before b-boys and b-girls made it their own. From capoeira rodas to gymnastic mats to breaking ciphers, the head hollowback persists through history. The frog stance might be a basic today in breaking, but it has been hopping around for nearly a century. Get it? Hopping, frog. Okay. Going back to the 1931 book, The Art and Science of Hand Balancing, where it already showed the frog stance as a key position. And from there, we go to the Kung Fu movie, Little Ninja Hero, where we see the frog stance being used as a training tool. And going back to BKS Iyengar, where we see him perform a lotus version of the frog stance, the same version Benji from France used in Flexible Fury 2. From ancient disciplines to modern dance, the frog stance has stood the test of time. Now let's talk about the Airbaby. Whoa, wait, wrong clip. I still suck? Yes? Okay, let's move on. Alright, time to rapid fire through Leonid Yengibarov. This guy was a legend. He had so many frees and balances before breaking was even a thing. Seriously, this guy had so many freezes, you'd think he was secretly a b-boy. Too bad breaking wasn't a thing back then. And hey, look who's back again. Iyengar. Seriously, this guy won't stop showing up. But I get it, his impact to the world was undeniable. And from the acrobatics world, we got Will and Mary and Vyacheslav Rashivkin. So next time you hit an Airbaby, remember, you're carrying on a legacy that's been around for decades. And this is the part that my jaw dropped when I saw this clip. Free stacks. On beat. What more should I say? Free stacks aren't just a breaking flex. Acrobats and stage performers were showcasing this control decades ago. Starting off, we have the three Kims from Sweden on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I've saved the best for last. We got cabaret star Noberti doing free stacks on beat, looking like a b-boy. Absolutely crazy. Enjoy, my friends. From cabaret stages to breaking ciphers, free stacks have always been about rhythm, control, and pure style. Next time, we're gonna take it up a notch, looking at air freezes. Stay tuned, and why wait? Click on the next video and keep the knowledge flowing.